Picture this, on a table in front of you, you have the following four items: 20 pieces of uncooked spaghetti, one marshmallow, 1 meter of tape, and one piece of string. And in 18 minutes, you have to build the tallest freestanding structure that you possibly can. Now imagine that there are three groups of people doing this task. The first is MBA executives from the top business school. The second is senior engineers from a leading electronics firm. And the third group is a bunch of kindergartners. Now, who would you imagine would win this kind of a task? And if you guessed MBA executives or senior electronics engineers, you'd be wrong. It's the kindergartners that win it every single time. Insights like these occur in Daniel Coyle's book, The Culture Code. Hi, I'm KK, and I love to review books that have insights like these for business and for life. Today, I'd like to talk to you about Daniel Coyle's The Culture Code and four amazing insights I got from the book. The first, people need to feel safe. Now, I started my business more than 20 years back, straight out of college. I never had a chance to go work for someone and experience what it feels like to be an employee. And so this insight was very powerful for me that A, employees need to feel safe, B, they need to have a sense of belonging, and most importantly, C, leaders have to demonstrate vulnerability. And right at the start, not wait for some occasion to arise. Now, this draws back to an expectation that most of us as managers or leaders have that people should take initiative. But why would someone take initiative if the risk of failure means that they could lose their job? So it's kind of logical, right? That the only way they would take that initiative, take that ownership, is if they feel safe that even if they fail, I have their back, that they will not be asked to leave the company because of that failure. The second great insight I got was that leaders should identify their priorities and state them 10 times more often than they feel they need to. So, very funny thing happened. Last year, one of my employees, senior managers, came to me and she said, KK, you got to tell us what the priorities are. 3 months back, you said chase revenue, win projects no matter what. Then you said also protect gross margin. So don't win projects at any cost. Make sure that there is a decent margin at the end of each project. And then in the middle of this, we are undergoing this whole reorg. So it's very confusing. What is it that really matters to you? And she was kind of right. So I said, let me document all of what we've been doing, the reorg, the redefinition of our OKRs. And I created a document called Blueprint 2.0. And I said, here's how we will reinvent the company. And I emailed this document to everyone. And I patted myself on the back and I said, great job done. But reading this book, I realized that that's not enough. I have to keep going back to everyone. In every conversation, every interaction I have with the team, I have to restate my priorities over and over again. Great lesson learned. Third interesting insight I got from the book was the use of catchphrases. So, what really matters to a company's culture should not be management jargon. It should be easy to remember catchphrases that convey the point very clearly. And Coyle gives some great examples. So, for example, Pixar has this catchphrase called safety first, which is essentially that employees should feel completely safe bringing forth whatever ideas that they have. Pixar's founder, Ed Catmull, talks about this in his other book, Creativity Inc., where he says new ideas are like ugly babies. For example, if I came to you and I said, let's make a movie about a rat that becomes a chef in a French Michelin-starred restaurant, you'd laugh me out of the room, right? But that movie became one of their biggest hits, Ratatouille. And so employees need to feel safe where they can come forward and discuss these ideas. So safety first, great catchphrase. Another one that he talks about is from the New Zealand All Blacks rugby team. Sweep the sheds. No task is small enough for any member of the team to undertake. So we are all in this together. A third one which I liked was from the San Antonio Spurs. Pound the rock, which basically means that when you're trying to break a big piece of stone, you might have to hit it 99 times and nothing happens. But it's on the 100th strike that it cracks you. We've tried to use some of that in the company. So if you go to our value statement, we try to, for example, make it simple. Quality is an important value for us. We said, do better every day. Integrity, do the right thing even when nobody's watching. We've tried to incorporate some of these ideas in the organization as well. The fourth great insight I got was on listening. Now, I've always believed that I'm a great listener. And people have shared stories with me very freely, randomly at coffee shops and airports, etc. And we all know the basic rules of being a good listener. Do not interrupt the speaker, make notes, nod an acknowledgement, repeat key phrases. But Coyle says that that's not what great listening is. It's not a passive activity. It's an active engagement. You have to provide constructive feedback. The listener has to connect the dots. And the goal of listening is to surface out the best possible ideas from that discussion. And he gives this example of this design firm IDEO, where Roshi Givenchy has this amazing knack of bringing out the best ideas from the clients and designers at the company. And often she will start her engagement into that conversation with the phrase, I might be wrong. And this again goes back to making people feel safe and showing your own vulnerability in that discussion. I'd like to leave you with this quote from the book. While successful culture can look and often feel like magic, it is not. Culture is a set of living relationships working towards a shared goal. It's not something you are, it's something you do. Do you have a book recommendation for the next episode? Leave it in the comments below.